Imagine you standing in a medieval court, no evidence, no lawyer, and no fair trial. Your fate depends not on truth, but on who holds the power. In the Middle Ages, justice was not blind. It bowed to the kings, feared the church, and crushed the powerless. This is a story of how the power corrupted medieval justice. What medieval justice looked like? In theory, medieval justice was about the order and the divine law. In reality, it was a brutal system controlled by elite. There were no standardized legal systems like today. Instead, justice varied by a region, ruler, or a social class. A noble could commit crimes and pay a fine. A peasant could steal bread and lose a hand. And the law was not about the fairness. It was about the maintaining hierarchy. Kings, lords, and bishops held absolute authority over life and death. In their vote was a final. The trials by Ordeal, when the god was judge. One of the most disturbing aspects of medieval justice was the trial by ordeal. Accused people were forced to prove their innocence through pain. It doesn't make sense, at least for me. It's not illogical. For example, they might carry a hot iron, be thrown into cold water, or force you walk across a burning coals. If the wounds healed clearly, God had judged them innocent. If not, they were guilty. The system wasn't justice, okay? I don't know, churches, powerful people from clans and kings' castles claimed God supported their version of truth, and no one dare question it. The church and the corruption of the divine law was insane. The church dominations medieval Europe, and the divine authority came immense legal power. Church codes could override the secular justice. Clergy were often immune to normal punishment. If a priest committed a crime, he will be judged by the church, not the people he harmed. This created the two-tier system, one for a holy and one for everyone else. Justice became a tool to preserve the religious dominance, not a moral truth. And the kings was above the law in the Middle Ages. Medieval kings ruled by a divine right. They were seen as chosen by God. So who judged the king? No one. No one. A ruler could imprison, execute, or confiscate property with the little consequences. Disloyalty could mean death. Even speaking against the crown was a treason. The law existed to protect the power, not the people. The stronger your position, the further you stood from justice. And torture as truth was one of the craziest part of the Dark Age, the medieval age. Another dark part of a medieval justice was the torture. Confessions were extracted through agony, the rack, the Iron Maiden, thumbscrews. Truth was not discovered, it was forced, and many confessed to crimes they never committed. To just make the pain stop, and once the confession was signed, the sentence was inevitable. Justice became a theater and performance of fear to maintain control. And there is something that still happens in the 21st century in some countries that I can't name. The public punishments and the fear. Executions weren't hidden, beheading and a burning were public spectacles. Crowds gathered, children watch the whole, children watched. I mean, these punishments weren't just penalties, they were warning, power and terror. And actually, who really suffered? The poor, the voiceless, women and outsiders. Accusations like witchcraft were often weapons of revenge. Justice didn't protect the innocent, it protected the system. And there are some other reflections. The legacy of corruption. Through the medieval justice, in the long gone, its shadow still exists. We still ask, is the law truly equal, or does the power still shape the verdict? History reminds us when authority goes unchecked, justice becomes operation. In the Middle Ages, justice wasn't about truth, it was about control. Power decided guilt, fear ensured silence, and the courtroom became a throne. But corruption wore the mask of law. The question is, have we truly escaped the world, or have we simply refined it?